I know. This I know.
Hi everybody, Christine Clark, level 3 QHHT practitioner, and I have another case study. This client was absolutely amazing. He was viewing two lives, an in-between life, and a movement forward to upper classrooms all at the same time. And one of the final destinations was the Alpha Centauri, which is a planet. I Googled it after the client left to see if it was real, and it's real. I'd never heard of that before. And it was amazing because this was all happening simultaneously. And so it was a challenge for him to report because he was seeing things all at once in different timelines and different dimensions, different realms. And he also had to have the skill to report it to me. So he did the best he could. I think he did a fantastic job. And there was the higher self there just supporting and guiding the information all the way through. Then the direct conversation with the higher self got very, very interesting. And the two lives, the in-between life, and then the final destination of the upper classroom learning was all about not putting pressure on ourselves in learning all that we need to learn within the life is important for those that do that, because for those of us that do that, it's helpful to understand that in between lives we also do some learning and integrating of these life experiences, and we go to upper classrooms to continue that. So it doesn't all have to be done in the life. It's best not to put pressure on our shoulders and take on too much and be too serious about that, because if we're not enjoying the life, then we're out of balance. And so the balance between learning and growth and enjoyment winds up being the base point of this triangle, which is a peace and freedom equation. And the higher self is mentioned that it sits at the apex, and that the triangle represents us as the human, and that the higher self can embody the life more when we have the balance of growth and learning and enjoyment of the life. And my client needed to be enjoying his life a little bit more. And the higher self, you'll hear in the audio file how the higher self makes references to me as well, which is really interesting. And I've just been so appreciative of the wisdom that came through there. So to navigate this equation here, I actually wrote it down on a piece of paper there. Okay, is helped further and even greater when we self-love, when we nurture. So practicing nurturance and acceptance of what we know and what we don't know. So navigating forward, not knowing, but putting energy into self-love and nurturing will get us that forward momentum anyway. Naturally, it happens on our behalf. Things that we know, to accept that, particularly if we're not in appreciation of what we're coming into knowing about, but deep down inside we know it's the truth, but it's not ideal. So it's all about acceptance, living a life of acceptance, which I've talked about before. So it was a beautiful reminder to have that, and remember these lessons are learned also in the in-between lives. So they were going back and forth. I really needed to be on my toes to follow where they were. And then the final destination was this Alpha Centauri planet, where it was one of the upper classrooms. And so the higher self talked about we really come here for two things, is the, like I said, the learning and the growth and the joy. If we're lucky enough to have that, then the higher self will be, we're given that. We're lucky enough to be given that, was actually how the higher self had worded that. And then to use that in a balanced way makes it much easier for the higher self to come in and take over and help out with a higher guidance and a higher understanding, so that we're not making things more difficult for ourselves than we need to, and that stress and fear is just not helpful at all. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't create unnecessary stress and fear. Stress and fear has its place and it's necessary, but the higher self was referring creating unnecessary stress and fear by not being ourselves and feeling that stress of being someone else other than we actually are, and fearing to be ourselves is really slows things down and creates more time. Higher selves also talked about the end game, making your goals the end game, and that there's no such thing as that. You actually project yourself into the future and you actually disappear out of time. And although being out of time more often than not is lovely, you can regenerate and rejuvenate a lot quicker. But the higher self was referring to when you're in time when it's necessary to be in time, and you're not in time when it's useful, then you create more time. And that's just another way of saying you slow down what is meant to be coming in for you, so that you can learn and grow and receive the things in the life that you want. So you actually disappear, and the higher self said, where are you? You're nowhere. And so I hope that you enjoy the audio file. It's a bit long, but you'll be able to track the whole thing, how all that wisdom comes through in such a lovely, coherent, cohesive, beautiful, beautiful way. Thanks for listening.
Blue pants. I have blue pants.
What's on your feet?
They're leather boots, round, like steel toe cap kind of thing boots. They're brown.
What do those boots help you with? Why would you wear those?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Let yourself find out what comes to you.
I don't really need them. I could walk barefoot here. Yeah. You know, I'm just walking around with that style. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Walking in the orchard.
Having a look at things?
Yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more about that.
There's a feeling of liberation.
What would be causing that, I wonder? Any idea?
Everything is over.
What's over?
Oh, that life that I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I had a life. And now I'm resting in this place.
Okay. Tell me more about the life that you had.
There was a lot of stress.
What kind of stress?
It was pressure. A lot of pressure. Yeah. I wish I could change it.
Tell me more about that. Are you retired now? Is that your circumstance?
No, I'm not alive.
Oh, I see.
I'm resting there.
This is your resting place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going to go after that.
Well, I want you to review that life. You had a lot of stress and pressure.
I see steel, I see gray. I see black and white. Few colors.
What was important about that life that's now over?
It's about learning that stress and fear is totally useless. You don't need them. That's all it is.
What What is needed more than stress and fear?
Just enjoy it, man. It's just meant to be enjoyed.
Tell me more about that.
We put pressure to be good. We put pressure to be successful. We try to define success by doing. Don't stop thinking about doing. Be. Just be. Just be. That's all that matters. Free yourself.
Is that what you finally learned at the end of that lifetime?
I'm just being right now. I'm just enjoying that. I'm in the present time. There's no time. I'm just living that time, even though time doesn't exist. There's no clock here. I don't need a clock.
How did you get to this dimension?
I passed away.
What caused you to lose your body? Why did you pass away?
I don't know. The only thing I remember was sitting in a bed. There was a brown wood made bed frame. And the room is made with wood planks. And
Let yourself go further back to find out what happened to you, what caused you to.
I'm sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else around?
I'm seeing people around here and there. Sometimes I'm alone. I have gray hair, short, no beard. I am tired. I'm exhausted. Feel I have a servant that sometimes is coming in to check on me. Sometimes I feel it's my wife. There's a woman there going back and forth. And other girls, maybe daughters. I am not sure. Yeah.
Is there daughters?
I see a lamp. Yeah. Oil. That's there. There's a window there. The room is big. There's some paintings. Feels way back when.
What kind of sickness do you have?
I'm coughing a lot. It feels it's in my stomach. And my tummy. Yeah, it's painful.
Okay. So you said you learned about stress and pressure and how it's useless and that life is meant to be enjoyed. Anything else about that life from this perspective of your spirit form as you have a look at this life review?
Well, I was not happy in that life.
Why?
Everything was serious. Meant everything was business. I'm tired.
Why did everything have to be about business?
Because this is how we define success. This is how we define what was important. We thought it was. Well, actually, it's not. No,
So that made you tired?
it's a choice.
Ah.
It is a choice. I chose to feel that way. I chose it.
Why did you choose it? What was the purpose of that? What did you learn?
I think what I'm learning is when I'm on the other side. So that is the teaching. And sometimes the teaching is not always in the life that you live. It comes after.
Ah.
This is your debriefing time. This is where you learn about your life. And this is the in-between phase that I'm saying that, enjoying, I don't know, whatever it is, meadow cider, walking around, seeing our orchard, that I'm enjoying that life because I'm just being and truly authentic to what it is, to my feeling. And in the past life I had, I was not happy, I was stressed out, I was I don't know, angry, impatient. Yeah.
Tell me more about what's different in this place than that life.
There's nobody putting hands on your shoulder. It's nobody else than you. There's no pressure from yourself. It's weird because you believe that because there's nobody around you that you don't feel pressure, but actually you were just yourself in your past life. So your ego put pressure on you, but now you're with your higher self in this realm, and the ego is, I don't know where it is, but it's not there.
Mm-hmm. And is that who's speaking now, the higher self?
The higher self is speaking from the higher realm. And in the higher realm, the only thing you see is your true self, your real emotion of joy and happiness, and your connection with the present. You live in the present moment, and that's all that matters. I see people talking. There's a gathering somewhere. I want to go there.
Okay.
I feel between these two lives, walking in the higher realm to that gathering and looking at this past life, laying down in the bed, sick and at the end of my life. I see both at the same time. I see that woman besides my bed, waiting for me to go. I see that servant. It feels like the 1800s, or even before that.
And why would you be viewing that right now? What's important about that?
It's the contrast between the two. And even though there's a contrast, both are a reflection of a choice you make. It's all within you. Everything is a choice. This is where resides your power. It is your choice. Your choice to learn. But with the way you learn, sometimes you don't choose. And that is sometimes what hurts you, what feels pain. Sometimes you don't even know, you're not even conscious that you made that choice. Painful choice. And that's why you only realize this when you're on the higher realm. That was a choice you've made, and that's why sometimes it's the only place that you learn, so that you can integrate those lessons for your upcoming life. I don't know where I'm going to go. I feel that there's a choice between going back to Earth or going somewhere else. There's a temptation to do both. It feels that I've been doing enough on this Earth for a very long time, and I'd like to see something else. Even though I've been okay to be back to Earth, there is a slight temptation to see another planet. It feels that that planet has blue and dark green colors. Yeah, I see that. I'm tempted to try that. Yeah.
Let yourself follow the temptation now. Go anywhere you want.
I see three things. I see that planet, I see the gathering, and I see my past life. Yeah, everything is fast. I have more abilities than I had in my past life. I see things all over the place. 360 degrees. I see them. I'm above them. Yeah. I see behind me. Planet is right there, right in front of me. Yeah. Planet Earth is behind me. It's very clear, but it's far. It's like when you're on the moon, you see the same, it's about the same size, same distance. The other planet is a bit closer. It's bigger than Earth. There's no cloud that you could see on this planet. It feels like it's a gas planet. It's not kind of the same physical existence. Did you know that there is existence on many different planets than Earth? But that one has existence. There's a name that come to mind. I don't know if it's the right name. Alpha Centauri. Maybe it's not that one, but that's the name came.
Tell me more about that.
X. There's X. There's like different names. I don't know because I'm not in the briefing room yet. I'm still resting there.
Okay.
I need to take a step back and rethink it. I need to be from perspective. If I go too fast, I'm going to skip some steps.
Okay.
I just know that at this time I'm resting, and it will come a time that somebody will pick me up and we'll go to the briefing room so that I could evolve from the lessons I learned, and from this I'll make a choice about where I will have my next life. Incarnation might not be a word because it might not be incarnation. It could be something else during a 3D physical life. So I am not sure about that. I see myself as a physical being right now. But that being said, there will be a choice in front of me to incarnate in a different kind of being. It's not the time for this choice.
Can you describe how you look now?
I look like I was saying before.
Okay.
I am a man, I have a brown beard and red plaids, blue pants, and I'm seeing like tents at the distance. There's a gathering from some tents, and there are some people, like maybe 30 people there. They're all happy, barefoot. They rolled up the bottom of their pants, and they're wearing different kind of pants. Some are linen, some are different kind of color, beige, purple, a sort of violet. There's some colors I can't even name. Yeah, they're all happy. They don't wear the clothes we wear here. They're ancient. Seems like it's very comfortable. Some have long hair. Men. Yeah, everybody's happy. Yeah. I don't fit, but they don't care. And I don't neither. Yeah.
So what happens next?
I'm starting to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a people person, you know. So that's what I do. Talking to them. Yeah. We're just having a good time. Some have instruments, they're playing music. Feels like a guitar. Yeah. Sometimes I keep looking back at that planet. it feels I'm impatient to make that choice.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel I'm torn and being attracted to make that choice to go to this planet and stay there and talking to these people. Yeah.
Let yourself make the choice that would be the best for you to get the information that you need to help you in the very best way that you can.
Did you know that I see a woman? I saw a woman before, and it was at the same time I was like dying. She was in the middle of a small town. There's a church, a white church, and there's a town square full of flower and some fence around it. And there's a woman there walking, a long robe and dress. Yeah, I saw that. I saw my grandparents as well. I never dreamt about them. Now that I saw them, they're all smiley, and my grandmother is very young. In her 30s, she's pretty. I never saw her at that time, obviously. But now I see her, she's pretty. There's my grandfather there too. It's weird. It's a mix of a lot of different things.
Tell me who that woman is.
I don't know. It feels like it's my wife, but at the same time it feels like it's me.
Let yourself find out.
I don't know.
What do you suppose that's about?
I see her, so it's not me.
You can be viewing yourself.
Oh, maybe. She looks pretty. She has brown shoes. Small heels.
Ask your intuition who this woman is. Why would you have seen this woman? Why are you seeing her now? What does intuition say?
Me. It's me.
And so, tell me more.
She has a good heart. She's gentle. She is suffering a little bit, but overall in, say, good mind. Life is somewhat less easy than it is these days. So, feels that it's on everybody else, not just on her.
Tell me more about this woman.
She's gathering some water. There's a well in the middle of the town. She's gathering some water there. That's what she's doing. She's bringing that water back home. There's a family there, like younger siblings. She needs to take care of. The mother is sick, and the father is away. There's a small home, all made with wood planks. It's dirty. There's a lot of some people going around. She lives in the town. Some horses. Yeah.
What happens next?
I'm tired. Oh.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's the middle of the summer. Temperature is hot. Yeah.
Tell me about what else is making you tired.
Yeah, I'm wearing a long dress, so feels long sleeves. There's some chores to do, and there's not much help. It's me taking care of the family. Siblings are young, 6, 7 years old. There are 3. 2 sisters, 1 brother. The brother is the youngest. Yeah. He wants to go to the army. Strong character, a lot of will. I'm afraid he's gonna die young. The sisters, I don't know.
Tell me more.
I'd like to have a boyfriend, but I don't have the time for this. I need to take care of the family first. Maybe when the father's gonna come back from war. Yeah, if he comes back.
Where's the mother?
Mother's sick. She's on the bedroom.
What's wrong with your mother?
She has a fever. She's very pale. Oh, she's gonna make it. The doctor came. We don't have any money for the doctor, so he came for free. But he said next time you're gonna have to pay. I don't have any money to pay. And we have enough to feed the family, but that's it. So there's a garden behind the house that we could grow some vegetables, but it's not big, nothing big. We need to watch for the rabbits. Damn rabbits. There's a white fence. But the fence is not good enough for the rabbits, you know.
So the rabbits get in and eat the garden?
Well, yeah, I have to watch for them, especially at night.
Mm.
Yeah. Some soldiers on horses. And I see. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Blue and red uniforms, hats. Well, not sure. Looks like we're in France. It's hard to say.
Are these horses coming towards you?
Nope, they're just basically ignoring me.
Okay.
They're going in a direction, and that's all that matters for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else getting your attention here?
Yeah, there's a planet coming up. I'm back on my in-between lives. There's a planet coming up fast. A different one, not the same. It feels like there's a new choice. Much bigger, different.
Tell me more.
Yeah. More options on this planet. More interesting. Different colors. More yellow. More opportunities. More excitement. It's more dynamic. It connects with me better that way. I was looking for action. Yeah.
What happened to that woman in that other life that you were in? What ever became of her?
She will eventually get married, but it's gonna take some time. Kids will have to grow up. The father will never come back from war. The mother will die. The kids will leave. Then she will find a man and she will get married.
What's important about that life? What was learned? What was the purpose?
Be patient. Be patient. Nothing lasts forever. Even if it's a hard time, it will pass. Good times will come.
Okay.
You will be taking care of that time as opposed to take care of somebody else. That will change. It will be sort of a retribution.
All right. Where do you go to next? What's more of a fit? What are you focused on now?
Yeah, that life, I'm dying in my bed. I'm the man with the servant. It's getting there. I'm passing. I'm starting to see the other realm. I'm at peace. That peace is surrounding me now. That sadness Angriness is leaving me to welcome peace. I'm welcoming that peace. I'm smiling. I'm a little bit delusional, and people around me are not paying attention to everything I say or how I react, but I don't care. I'm ready to go. I need to go. That's it. I move. We're done. I'm seeing that tunnel of space with stars going fast through that tunnel because I was tired of this life. I didn't even look back. When I left, I was gone. I didn't even look if people would be sad to seeing me leave. I didn't even pay attention to this. The second I could go, I left. And I'm flying fast in that tunnel.
What life are you referring to?
When I was an old man dying in my bed, and I had a servant.
The life where you learned about happiness and freedom and liberation?
Yeah.
That stress and pressure it doesn't help?
Well, it's a matter of choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice you make to live that. Whether you live that. It's awareness. And I only got that awareness when I was on the other side.
Okay. So now where do you go to next to get more information? Go to a important event. Something significant is taking place. What is significant about what's taking place?
What is significant is the lessons that you learn. So I'm in this room sitting. It's like a classroom. And there's somebody in front. We're a few people, 4 or 5 in this classroom. And it's about integrating all of the lessons that we learned from the previous life. And we are sharing this. And the purpose of the teacher, if I could say, it's to help us integrate those lessons so that we could keep on our evolution. So your life is a part of it. It's to keep growing and move forward in your evolution path. One thing you need to remember is when you're between your life, there's also a growing time for you. And this is what I'm doing right now. So don't blame yourself if you cannot learn everything. It's good that you have a purpose to learn things in your life. Awesome. Good for you. We're proud of you. Keep doing that. Stop putting pressure on your shoulders that you have to learn everything in this life. The key word is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will learn too on the other side. You always learn and integrate things.
Can you tell me more about JP's life that he's living now?
See, I'm talking to him right now.
Mm-hmm.
You saving money for your retirement or for future needs, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Spend a little bit. Life is the same thing. So if you use money as a reference point, you would use money because you say it's important to save it for future needs. This is your rational brain thinking, your logical brain thinking. This is you feel as your obligations for yourself. Those are your duties. Those are your gray collar, pressure, stress things. It is all right. When you are exaggerating that comes problems.
What kinds of things would be good for him to spend his money on from how you see it?
That lesson is also for you. It means we need to enjoy life more. That's all it is. We need to stop complicating life. We need to keep a balance between enjoying life and investing in ourselves. This is where you will find peace. This is where you will find your true self. You don't find it because, and that message is for me. You don't find it because you feel you have a duty to learn everything. You're missing a piece of your equation question.
So out of his dutifulness, he's missing enjoying life more, which is his link to finding his true self.
That's exactly it.
So to spend money on having experiences of more enjoyment in the life.
Money is just an example.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Example of what?
Money is just an example to illustrate the point that a fulfilled life comes with a balance between enjoying it and investing in your growth. Both. You can't have a fulfilled life if you're solely investing on one aspect. That's what the money was about. If you have money right now and you spend all of your money you have right now on whatever it is, you will enjoy it now, but you won't invest for your future needs. So life is the same. Your future needs is your future self, is your future growth. And that future growth also is between realms. It is okay, and you must invest in there now. If you just do that, you're missing a part of the equation, which is enjoying life. If you enjoy too much, you're not investing in you. You need both. That is the equation. You're currently experiencing that too. And it's important. Don't blame yourself because you're enjoying life too. Don't feel guilt about it. Your duty is to keep it a balance. That is your job. That's all it is. It is very simple. The rest will come to you. And that's fine.
So it's about balance between saving and spending for the purpose of investing yourself as well as enjoying.
It's exactly it. It's not complicated. We put pressure on ourselves to be. When you put too much pressure on yourself about to be, there is a component of you that ceases to exist. And that's why you start searching for happiness and peace and serenity. It's not complicated. We just need to realize it. And that's very important to remember.
Why did he have the memory of the life in the cabin in the forest?
You already know the answer to this. It's easy. This is the representation of joy, peace, and serenity. Present time. Stop thinking about the future. Stop thinking about the must. Stop thinking about the do. Stop thinking about the become. Just enjoy life.
Can you tell me more about the in-between stage? Between lives.
There's one thing to say before that. Feeling that life is hard is a choice. Feeling that life is hard, it's because you make the choice. You put the pressure on your shoulder to become. Therefore, you say to yourself, it's hard. It's hard because I'm not there yet. You'll never get there. You know why? Because it will never bring you happiness. This is not a destination. It never ends. The only place it will ever ends, and well, you will find yourself with God again, the source. This is your path. You left the source to understand all of this so that you could come back there. But you forgot during your journey that you're still the source. You're still love, joy, happiness. You forgot. Then you put that pressure on yourself to become, to be so and so. And because you forgot, then you're not happy. That is why the concept of the balance is so important. This is where all the answers about why do you feel that way are. That is the teaching.
So this all relates to expectations and fears, being impatient and nervous in the life.
Exactly. There is always like a non-fulfilled part of you that tells you you're not there yet. You need to invest. It's all good. Again, when you put all of your attention to this, it becomes a problem. So in this life, we have time. Therefore, an expiration date. Therefore, we need to enjoy it too.
Can you talk to him more about why he doesn't like where he is right now?
That's the same thing. It resides in the principle of the equation.
He feels that he has more to offer, but he doesn't know how to get there. He wants effective ways to translate himself in the world.
You know the answer to this. It's because that's the joy component that is not looking at it. Just have fun. That's it.
And so just by having fun, the component of joy will be exactly how it's supposed to look.
That's exactly it. It's very simple.
Why does he have such a certainty around servitude when it comes to coaching?
Because this is his true self. This is who he is. He is a light transmitter. He is a leader. And his mission is to help people that way. This is the way he can connect through heart. That is why. His mission, his impact on this world is there. He knows this now, and that's fine. That's peace. Do more of this. Don't just do more. Just do more of one thing, which is that one. Do more coaching. That's all it is. Make it simple.
So, in doing, it's coaching. In being, it's joy. It's having fun. Is that what you mean?
It's one way to look at it. But being is both. You have a triangle, and at the top is your being. And you could be joyful here and doing there. You have to understand that you are the three of them. If you can be the three of them, then your higher self will go up like this and be joy and coaching whatever is your mission in your life.
Is this how he will be more you as the higher self and less identified with the ego?
Make peace with your goals. And
Can you explain that? Why would you tell him to make peace with his goals? Why is that important?
because he will never find happiness in this life fully if he doesn't do it.
So can you help me understand that statement?
You put pressure on yourself to become. You put pressure on yourself, for example, to be a director, to get this position because you think it defines a destination or an accomplishment. That is a goal. When you get there, you're going to have another goal. You'll never get there because there's no destinations. It is a journey.
Oh. So what's the difference between being disciplined and challenging yourself and making peace with goals for the purpose of becoming what he's meant to become?
Acceptance.
Can you talk to me a bit about acceptance when it comes to JP? What are you trying to tell him?
You see yourself as an investment. When you look at yourself in the future and you compare it to who you are, you see yourself as incomplete. And therefore, you don't accept that you are incomplete. Then you're not happy. You're disappointed. You're sad. That's why you were sad when you were thinking about this meeting today. That is simple. It's the connection between who you want to be and who you are, and in that gap resides the problem. There is no destination, and this is where comes the confusion, because you think there is one. You say to yourself, when I will be this, I'll be happy. That equation is not going to bring you happiness. You need to let go of this. This is your ego pushing on you, pushing on your investment, pushing on your career. It's not going to work. Self-growth is something different. It's about self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, and encouraging you to go one step further in your own development. without knowing where it's going to bring you. You don't attach it to an end goal. There's no end goal. There's only the desire to be more, and that's all it is. So it is the disconnection with the world, and there's no and.
So without an end goal, because there's no end.
There's absolutely no end. You will always grow.
Anything you can do for him for self-esteem and self-worth and his vulnerability.
Joy. Invest more in that part of the equation, less on the other. That's all it is.
So, is there something he should withdraw his attention to and redirect more attention and focus on instead? Like, what does he move away from with his focus and towards to with his focus? So away from concern about not having enough self-esteem and more towards joy?
Teach your daughter what I'm teaching you right now. Teach your daughter there's no end goal. Just be. When you put an end goal, you put a future. When you put a future, you're on a timeline. When you're a timeline, you forget about the present. When you detach all of this and get that equation out of your mind, what's going to happen, you think? Tell me. I'll tell you. You're going to be in the present.
Can you say that again?
When you attach an end goal,
Mm-hmm.
you put a timeline.
Yeah.
When you put the timeline, you put a future state. When you put a future state, you bring your mind in the future. And the result of this is you forget to be in the present moment.
So while you're off in the future actually creating some kind of end, you are missing the present moment. You're not there in the present moment.
That's right.
And what would you add to that?
When you're in the future, you don't exist in the present. Your problem in this reality is you only exist in the present. So where are you? You're nowhere. So when you speak to someone and you feel that you're faced out, you're in the future. You're not in the present. So that is the problem with that mechanic.
But that's also inauthenticity.
It is absolutely it, because it screams at you. All of your emotion, all of your sincerity about what you feel about the people around you that you're interacting with are there. They're talking to you, they're pushing you, but they're in a veil and they're yelling at you, and you're on the other side trying to listen to them, but you can't do anything with it because of this equation.
Because you're just not there.
You're not there.
And when you're not there, you're not authentic.
That's right. It doesn't make you a bad person
Yeah.
or hypocrite. It's not that. You're trying to be. You feel in a prison. All of this mechanic, that's why it's a problem. So it's how you look at your self-development that is a problem.
So how is JP's perception being changed today in this QHHT session of his own development? What is the perception that is shifting here today?
That he's putting a lot of pressure on himself to be, to become. When I'll be like this, I'll be happy. That is a wrong equation. There's no such thing because, again, you put a timeline, therefore a future, therefore you slipped away from the present time. And you're never happy. It will never be because there's no such things as an end goal.
Does he understand that rationally? Does his mind understand that?
I think he can. I think he can. He's not there yet. He started that process, which is good because ego is not driving the bus. But he needs to bring it to a step further. The daughter is very important.
Can you tell me more about her?
She's like him.
In what way are they alike?
She has a great future, a great potential. But she is very, very sensitive at this stage. So that could greatly impact her in the future. She could become a great leader too. He believes that she will follow his footsteps. And she very could well do that. Even better, much better than him. But she's very sensitive. And it could create a great impact. He needs to teach her that because she's putting the same pressure on her. It will bring her to the same destination. It will make her stronger, but at the same time could destroy her. Needs to be careful with that.
So as JP perceives his own development through presence in the now, demonstrating to himself more authenticity in his own experience with himself as he expresses in the world, this will affect his daughter. How?
We never told you that before. There are two missions. One is to help people around him with the coaching he can do, because that's the talent he has. That's the gift, that's the mission. The other one is to raise that child.
Raise her.
The right way. You said it the right way. I know what you mean. Raise, elevate, bring up all the potential she has. She has chosen that timeline. She has chosen those human beings as parents for a reason. She has a great mission in front of her. These parents can teach her how to. He has a crossroad in front of him. The key here is to bring awareness about his teaching on her so that she can follow the right path for her own development. It has to be done carefully. If so, I cannot tell you how much potential she has.
And the right teaching is?
Eliminate the equation.
which is
Don't put an end goal to your own growth. There's no such thing. Bring joy to. Stop putting pressure. Your self-growth is just short-lived. That's all it is. Just look for the next step. Don't think 3, 5, 10, 15 years in the future.
So I'm getting the sense here that what you're driving at or driving home here in your guidance is that somehow there is a slowing down that needs to be taking place here in the sense that what you're saying here needs to be taken into account and integrated into the experience to be in the gap where the connection is made between who you want to be and who you are through more joy and enjoyment of life, recognizing that growth, personal growth, although important, is a smaller part of the bigger picture. That even bigger picture than personal growth is don't put the end goal in place because it takes you to the future and pulls you out of the present, which makes you inauthentic and is not a good teaching for the daughter. And it moves him away from what it is he is wanting to experience, which is more self-acceptance and self-love, while still being an effective father and husband and leader, but away from expectations and fears and more into peace and freedom and liberation from stress and pressure. Did I kind of sew that together okay, or?
You use many words.
Yeah. I just sort of was trying to go back in and pick up all the grass cuttings and deliver them back.
This is your higher self. Those are your two components. Enjoy life, that existence that you chose to have and you've been lucky enough to get.
Okay, so the higher self is making the shape of a triangle. The top part of the triangle is the higher self.
That is you, your higher self. You're right there. You're seeing everything. You have two components in this existence. Every human being has the same. One, enjoy that life.
Okay, enjoy life.
Enjoy that life.
Bottom right-hand corner, yeah.
Learn lessons.
Learn lessons.
This is the two reasons why you're here.
Learn lessons and enjoy life.
That's all it is. If you go too much on one side, what's going to happen? It's going to fall apart.
It's going to be imbalanced. The triangle won't have integrity in it, in its structure.
That's exactly
it will be
it.
weaker. You don't have the right tension, the right tensegrity.
There you go. You got it.
Integrity and tension.
Yes.
Tensegrity.
Exactly.
So with that tensegrity, is the higher self able to embody JP more?
We're just waiting for that. That's why he's here.
So, how will he experience himself as a result of this session today?
Meditate, make peace. Meditation is good.
Does he like meditation?
Oh yeah, he's very amateur, but it works.
Is he willing to give himself the gift of peace?
That's what he's looking for.
Can you help him with that? Can you help him?
He deserves peace.
So it's okay to be in servitude, but too much dutifulness represents pressure.
Yeah, that's why he felt about his training plan. That's why it never worked. It's too much pressure. You want to become this, you want to become that, you want to become this. Career, training, self-growth. He has a spider web of success at home. Great tool. Financial success, family success, career success, leadership success, health success. It's impossible. It's too much. And it's not fun. That's why it doesn't work. Should you use it? I don't think so. You should think what brings you joy in your life. Just be close to these things that brings you joy. Accept them, welcome them, be them. That's fine. Your success will be part of it. 50% of your success is, do you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the ride? Imagine yourself, you're crossing over and you're welcomed by your loved ones. And they say to you, hey, happy to see you. Did you enjoy it? I hope you're going to say yes.
Can you tell me about the other 50%?
What have you learned? I hope you're going to say you learned something. Or are you just not going to show up with a hangover? It's a bit of both. If you had a blast and you learn one thing or two, that's awesome. You don't need to become the President of the United States or be a popular singer. It doesn't matter. Those are all roles.
So, having learned lessons while enjoying life brings the higher self into the life more.
Yeah.
Is this why he was discovering the in-between lives? Those segments where he was always going back to in-between lives and waiting to actually learn in the in-between part of the lives instead of in the lives themselves?
That's exactly it. It's to show him that he was crying on the other side because he was so relieved of his past life. You don't need to go to Passover to feel that way. You can feel it right away. You don't need to wait until you get there. I'll be happy when I will be like this. No. Be happy right now. Why would you need to go there anyway? You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need that angle. That's what I'm referring to.
So, he had the experience of knowing that he learns through the in-between parts of the life, as well as in the life. But don't try to hardwire it one way or the other. Is that what you're telling him? Don't think it needs to, all the learning needs to be done between the lives, and don't think it needs to all be done in the life. It's a bit of both, and it's done with the balance of learning and enjoying, and therefore you get the embodiment of the higher self in the experience. Am I understanding that right? Or am I complicating things? Please clarify.
Just think about the equation.
Okay.
Just think about it. So, the way you think, how could I say that? There's an emotion connected to the way you think. I'd like you to think about that. That what brings you complication. It's simple. The pressure you put on yourself is about who you want to become. Who you want to become becomes a timeline, creates a future, push you away from the present time. That is the mechanic of that equation. The equation doesn't work because there's no end goal, because you'll never and always are words that doesn't work because there's no time. You cannot be happy because you cannot be satisfied with this equation. So believe that you will always learn during this existence. That's it. And you will have stuff to learn. He has an expectation that he will transcend to higher realms and go on other planets because he's putting that pressure to be so special. He's putting that pressure on himself. I want to be special. That's the ego talking. The ego is very strong, especially for him. And when you look at other people, he's asking himself, why don't they put more pressure on themselves? Who's the fool? He understands that now.
Can you tell me what the purpose is of developing such a strong ego, and what's on the other side of that? Why did he develop such a strong ego, and what is the benefit of that if you were to be on the other side of that?
He was destroyed mentally when he was a child. He had no self-esteem, no self-confidence. He isolated himself from his own emotions, from his family, from kids at school, to protect himself. Ego pushed him to accomplish things, and he did well. He did accomplish much.
What was the moment that destroyed him?
Schoolyards, being bullied by his cousin, by other kids. The mother transmitted anxiety to him, seeing people around them bigger than who they were. Always downplaying, undervaluing who they were. So these two, and he has a big heart. So these two together made him weak, vulnerable, afraid. So ego was a great help because he became somebody that I'd say a lot of his friends at this time could even like phantom of. He did achieve much. He was very successful. Good on him. So what's the result? What's the benefit? Self-confidence, resilience, determination, self-esteem. That you can. that you're no lesser than anybody else, that you could do everything you want. He proved that to himself. He needed ego to overcome all of the challenges that he had when he was about 10 to 12 years old. Now it's over.
And is he ready now to, as the identification of the ego, ready to identify as you, the one that speaks through him now?
I am him.
Are you here to claim the body and to take over the life now?
Let's do that together.
Moving now into the energy of acceptance.
The best version of himself is in this equation. Do that equation, you're going to be the best of yourself. Best of yourself doesn't mean, oh, I am that position or I accomplished that. And this is, again, a wrong equation. Why? Because it brings up a destination. There's no such thing.
So what does the better version of him do?
Be, not become. Be. Become is with a future timeline again. I will become, therefore I will be happy. It doesn't work like this.
So it comes back to being more present in the beingness.
Let it go of your end goal.
Let it go as your end goal. It will happen anyway on his behalf. It just happens naturally. You don't have to study the wind all day long and think about it all night long to know and trust that it will always be there.
Yeah.
It is a force of nature that will take care of itself.
Yeah. Your best self is be truly authentic to who you are, and truly authentic to who you are is being in the present moment. That's all it is. It's self-awareness. So what we're doing today, we're bringing self-awareness about expectations he has about himself.